Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, New Orleans, and welcome to the Good Morning Show. Oh man, we have made it through Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, hump day, Thursday, and here we are on Friday. I was looking forward to this day, looking forward to getting through this day, looking forward to having some weekend, but I wouldn't be doing that if the Lord didn't bless me to wake me up this morning. Plant my feet on the floor, get me on off to this Black Hair radio station, and I am happy to be with each of you, our WBOK family of listeners, and got a nice guest host for you today, the ace, superstar, attorney, community leader, advocate, the woman who watches out for all of us in all kind of aspects of our community, none other than Kim Boyle.
Good morning, Will. I love that introduction. I'm going to have to take that and send it on to some of my friends. Love it, love it, love it. Good morning.
Well, it's always wonderful to see you wherever we happen to meet and greet. I love your big smile. I love your look in your dress. I mean, you and my wife always talk about, oh, look at you.
I love it. I love it.
I love it.
You got to represent.
Yeah, right. I mean,
your wife and I got to represent,
sister,
Will.
you got some closet. You got some closet, I tell you.
I appreciate that.
And then that's just the mingle minute chatty. And then if somebody gives you time to talk, it's like, okay, sister, bringing it on. Bringing it on. Why is this important? Well, let me tell you. Why you should care? Well, let me tell you. And I love that.
Thank you so much, Will. Always great to see you. Always great to have conversation with you. And honored to be on your show this morning, as I was a few months ago when we talked about the incomparable Dr. Norman C. Francis.
Indeed. Well, there's always a lot going on in our city, in the region, and in the state. And we'll be getting to some of that because we have a good show today. But I know y'all are wondering, okay, why isn't he talking about the weather? That's all right. I didn't forget. I did not forget. So here's what Kim and I felt coming in. It's about 79 degrees out there. It is partly cloudy. So if it's partly cloudy, it's partly sunny, vice versa. The feel like is 86 degrees. So we're doing better than we have been doing in some recent days where we were pretty quickly in the 90s and then feel like of 106 and 110 and even 112 a few days ago. But we're at 79 degrees. It's going to jump pretty quickly to 82 and then 85 about 9 or 9:30 or so. And then it's going to cool down a minute and bounce back up around 11 to 86 and 87 and 88 on into the afternoon. So the chance of rain is in single digits, but it pops up into double digits, but it's only like 15%. So if I were you, unless you have you know what I call them, those rain umbrellas, unless you have one or two in your car, I would take it just in case. So that's the way things are looking out there. And Kim, what was the weather like for you and your traffic? What was that like?
I had little to no traffic this morning, Will. I don't live too far away from this amazing studio. So I zoomed right in, got here in 7 minutes. Everybody is trying to get their kids to school and trying to get off to work, but didn't see any accidents. And I'm praying that no one is involved in an accident today. We want to go into the weekend safe and happy.
Absolutely. Well, unfortunately, we did have an accident a couple of days ago involving school children.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And sometimes people might wonder why I talk about that every day. This is why. It wasn't one or two kids. It was like 10 or 12 kids. No. And it was around the school. And why? Because, it needs needs to be further investigated, but it seems people weren't paying attention.
No.
People weren't paying attention. And so I know that I ask you every day to be careful driving and to watch out for the crazy drivers.
Yep.
Because I know you're not one and don't want to be. But you got to drive defensively. And in the morning, when we have school zones, it's 20 miles per hour.
Yes.
And I know it's hard for y'all to slow down from 65, 55, 45, even 35. But if it's around schools, there's a reason it's 20 miles per hour.
We want our kids safe.
And we got babies and kiddos going to school, and we got to keep in mind that their maturity is not of a level to look both ways before you cross. You said that, but they so quickly forget that. And then they are yapping with their friends in groups. And one's lagging behind, and they don't know she's lagging behind. And she's in the street, and they're on the sidewalk, and here comes a car. Well, if you're not looking, you think the group has passed. And they have not, because one is still in the street. And you got cars driving up with moms and dads, uncles and aunts, grandpas and TDs, and all kinds of people dropping off kids, and they're dropping off kids. So that means they have to slow down and stop. Open the door, get out. You can't just be flying by thinking that get out of the way. Well, you're dropping off somebody too, or you're passing by, going wherever you go. Maybe if you're not going to the school, you can take another direction, take another route to where you are going. Yes, I am talking more about this morning than I usually do, because those kids being injured is bothering me. It's really bothering me, because we don't have to have accidents and injuries involving anyone, but particularly not kids trying to go to school, do the right thing, get an education, come out of school, and safely get home. So please remember, as I always say, watch out for our babies and kiddos. They're doing the right thing, going to school, but we have to make sure that they safely arrive at school. And I say this too, some of them who are old enough, they have hair under their arms and hair on their face, and they think they're grown. They are not. And those who are old enough, or who have guardians who have decided that they need cell phones, they still adjusting to that. So their faces are on the phone and not on you and not on anybody else. So we got to watch out for them too. So please, I can't emphasize this enough, and this is why I'm saying it every day. We don't need to see these kinds of things in the news. There are so many other things going on that this is one we can do something about by being good, safe drivers, watching out for other people, and especially watching for those school kids.
Thank you for reminding us of that, Will. That's important for all of us to try to follow.
Yeah. So anyway, we've got more coming up on the show today. We heard from Kurt McDonald from Essence and Sundial Media, and he was here to talk about the update of where things stand with the Essence Festival in the city of New Orleans, and happened to come after a story that my colleague Blake Patterson broke, which he reported that the city, the mayor's office, has been working with the Essence Steering Committee, and the Steering Committee sent a letter to Essence last week and provided them with a list of things that they need to provide by yesterday. Now, this follows months ago, Essence providing the city with an Essence 365 plan, including the request for $10 to $12 million, and saying how they want to broaden the footprint of Essence to do more on that weekend and in between Essence festivals to have a greater impact. Uh, I never heard whether there was a direct response to that, but I do know that the mayor sent a letter to the Essence officials about that time saying, here's all that we need. Some rather deep detail of their financials, marketing plan, expenses, unpaid bills, paid bills, all of that kind of thing. And in advance of this year's Essence Festival. So they've been talking, quietly so, which, for the most part, that's what you're supposed to be doing with negotiations. You shouldn't be negotiating through the media. And I say that as a member of the news media. That's just not what you do. Heck, even news organizations don't negotiate through the media. When it's over, you hear about it. So that's how that works. But recently, the letter from the steering committee went to Essence. Mr. McDonald was kind enough to spend some time with us on the Good Morning Show yesterday, and he gave their company perspective, including saying that they will respond to the mayor's request by yesterday, the deadline provided. I have no idea whether they did or they didn't, or they responded to 5 out of 10 things. I don't know how many things were on the list. I didn't see the letter. But I do know that Blake Patterson reported that story and has been covering that story. And we're going to have Blake Patterson in here this morning to tell us more about that story and some things that he didn't include because of space and time. So Blake's very much on top of this. There are a number of journalists covering this, but Blake has the great fortune of having more time to cover this than some other journalists. So we're going to be talking with him today. I'm going to also talk about NDAs. It seems like the news media just can't get away from NDAs. And I get it. A lot of you all have called in with concerns and upset about the NDAs and all. And I'm going to give you another update about that because Sam Carlin has been all over that aspect of what's been going on. And so we're going to talk about what he reported and what some others are reporting. But we have the great fortune of having Kim Boyle today, who knows a little bit about NDAs. So let me just be sure you're clear, because Kim's already clear. I don't want Kim to weigh in on the government NDA stuff with the city, with the state, the governor, and this one and that one. I'm going to share with you some of the reporting. But I'm asking Kim to weigh in on what is this NDA stuff? What does it look like? Because she's a very experienced attorney, well aware of NDAs. And I think that would be really helpful at this moment as this continues in the news. So we'll get to that as well. We also are going to hear from Bishop T. Delbert Robinson, who is senior pastor of Greater St. Stephen's Ministries. I don't believe we've had him on the Good Morning Show in some time, or maybe not ever. So I am looking forward to having him from the incredible Greater St. Stephen Ministries. And they're having a community flu fair and health fair. And the bishop could have had, a member of the congregation come. but he feels so strongly about this that he's coming himself to talk about this, and I am excited to welcome him here today. So that's going to be another good segment of the program. Meanwhile, the sanitation review is continuing with the city of New Orleans, and the mayor's suggestion about dealing with sanitation issues is to propose a 34% increase in our monthly sanitation fees. I know that's probably shocking, 34%. Well, the service fee for residential curbside would go from $24 to $32.25, and commercial rates would go from $48 to $64.50. So the mayor has shared this with city council, and it's already out there in the public. And frankly, she talked about this earlier during a campaign without many specifics, if I recall correctly. So the council is going to hear this on September 3rd. So I want to bring that to your attention and make sure that you're aware. But as the CEO, Joe Geruso, said to the council yesterday, we're looking at handling sanitation in 2026, and we haven't had an increase since 2011. So we're looking at handling sanitation based on 2011 circumstances, and things are different in 2026. Of course, a lot of things are different. We expect gas to be more, but we don't want it to be much more. And we know other things are going to be more expensive. But there's more to that, and we'll be getting more into that in the coming days. And but certainly love to hear from you about that today. As you're watching this, what are your thoughts, Kim?
Well, I mean, bottom line is, said, I think that our CAO kind of said it point blank. If there's not been an increase since 2011, and we're dealing with what the economic situation is in 2026, we all know what the city's financial situation is right now. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think that's any secret
Nope.
whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that the mayor, consistent with her obligations to the citizens of this city, as well as city council members, all of the elected officials, have to look at everything to see what we need to do to keep this city afloat right now. We
Yeah,
are not in a good economic situation right
we
now.
are not. Absolutely not. That's so true. All right. Well, it is 7:19 a.m. We're going to be taking a break. And after that break, I see Blake Patterson is in the house. He is in the house. So I'm sure he'll make it on over to the studio during the break, and we'll have a conversation with Blake Patterson, reporter at the TimesPicayune-NOLA.com, about the Essence Festival. Kim, we certainly want to hear from our listeners and watchers this morning. What is that talk line number that they can call?
That talk line number, Will, is 504-582-9422. Please call in because we definitely want to hear what you have to say on this great Friday morning.
Wonderful. This is WBOK 1230 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about all day long.
Good Friday morning. I'm Daryl Forges with WDSU News, and here's your headlines. Today, the Stage Rex murder trial could be getting closer to a verdict. Sean Alfredish and Leon Parker accused in a connection to the death of federal witness Cornelius Garrison. The prosecution rested after calling Brandon Brown to the stand. He said Garrison was a vital piece of the federal investigation he was working on. A legal battle between the New Orleans Fire Department and the city is heading to trial. This after a meeting Thursday failed to reach an agreement. The issue is over a mandatory order by NOFD superintendent making firefighters do higher level jobs without guaranteed extra pay. The trial is set for September 14th. And the city of New Orleans moves closer to reopening a historic park. The landmark, now shuttered for more than 60 years. Construction on Lincoln Beach will start in December. New Orleans Chief Sustainability Officer Megan Williams announced Thursday the first phase of construction will be road paving and creation of a parking lot. Another meeting is scheduled to update the community on progress at the beach in November. Williams says project leaders want to avoid potentially opening the beach and having to close it again for more construction, which is why it won't be open to the public until all 3 phases of construction are complete. I'm Daryl Forges, and that's your headlines for WBOK. Have a great day.
New Orleans never sleeps, and neither does WBOK. Now, every voice, every moment, and every show is in your pocket. Search WBOK Media wherever you get podcasts. Download, share, rate us 5 stars. Because when you support us, you amplify Black voices and the New Orleans culture.
I'm Angelica Harris, a proud New Orleans native and founder of Top Tutors for Us. In high school, I raised my ACT score from a 60 to a 32 and earned more than $1.5 million in scholarship offers. Now, our award-winning platform connects Black students with tutors who look like them, from leading universities like Xavier and Tulane. Your child can achieve that same success. Visit TopTutorsForUs.com and follow Top Tutors for Us on social media. Built for our students by us.
When you're finally off the clock after a long day, dishes put away, kids asleep, feet kicked up, heartburn. Don't let heartburn take over your hard-earned moment. Quick, Alka-Seltzer. Nothing works faster for heartburn relief. Alka-Seltzer effervescent tablets begin neutralizing stomach acid in seconds, so you can get back to your one more episode marathon. Quick, Alka-Seltzer. Because nothing works faster for heartburn relief. Use as directed.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit organization that owns the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival presented by Shell. With the funds generated from Jazz Fest, the foundation invests in Louisiana communities through economic development, cultural enrichment, and free educational programs. To learn more about the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation, please visit us at www.jazzandheritage.org.
Well, Saints of God, this is Pastor David Impartan Sr. coming to you over the airways of WBOK, your favorite host of Change Your Water, Change Your Mind. I want to invite you to our show every Saturday from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock p.m. That's Change Your Water, Change Your Mind. I want you to invite your family and friends to a broadcast that's designed to change your life, the way you think, the way you act, and what you eat. We want you to tune in every Saturday at 1 o'clock, WBOK, 12:30 a.m. See you on Saturday.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
Mostly sunny today, but we do have a chance to see a few spotty showers for the afternoon. Again, most of us will end up staying dry, nothing like what we saw for Thursday. Highs for today, 88 to 91, pretty close to average for this time of the year. A couple of spotty showers as we get to our Saturday as well. Highs also into the upper 80s, lower 90s. And then we are expecting better rain chances by Sunday. From the WDSU First Warning Weather Center, I'm Raven Reeshaw.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. For those of you all who have been in tune with us since 7:02, 7:06, 7:12, or even 7:24, 7:26 a.m. now. If you got to be there at 7:30, you got about 4 minutes to get there. But please, 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 I'd rather you be safe and get there rather than being on time and not because you were rushing too much. Watch out for our babies and kiddos going to school. And please, please, please make sure you take care of your personal needs at home and not in the car so that you can get there and not be distracted. I am back with Kim Boyle, and happy to have you again, sister.
Thank you so much, Will. Happy to be here, particularly talking about music and Essence Festival.
Well, we're moving on into some Essence conversation. How many Essence festivals have you been to?
I have been to every single Essence Festival since it started under Mayor Mark Morial, except for the one right after Katrina that was in Houston.
Wow.
I don't miss it.
Wow.
It's great for our city. It's great for people who love music like me. We have had amazing artists. The last time I saw the iconic artist Prince was at Essence.
Wow.
Like this past Essence, George Clinton, the Mothership Connection.
That was wonderful.
Doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah.
Does not get any better than that, Will. So
Yeah.
I'm a huge Essence fan.
Yep.
Huge.
Yep. Well, you and lots of us are watching what's going on with Essence because the contract ends this year. The agreement ends this year. And the Essence and the city have been in talks for months, even before this year's Essence Festival. But now we're getting close to the deadline. So we're joined this morning by Blake Patterson, reporter at the Times-Picayune, NOLA.com. And I would venture to say that there's no reporter in the city who has done more Essence Festival coverage than Blake Patterson.
At least the political side.
Well, yeah. Because if you include the musical, the activity during the festival, certainly there are people like Keith Spear and all other people, and that's a lot of coverage. But if you look across the year, and especially the recent year, then who else has done more? No one. Yeah. I'll say it. No one.
Well, appreciate that. Yeah.
So, all right. So, Blake, you broke a story about where the negotiations are standing and the letter that the steering committee sent to the Essence Festival, and including requests for specific things and a bit of a wrinkle about maybe having a different festival.
Yeah.
So, bring us up to speed.
Yeah. So the mayor, New Orleans Mayor Helena Moreno, she created a steering committee in March to make sure that the 2026 festival was a success. And this committee was also tasked with, figuring out what sort of Essence's relationship with the city would be going forward after 2026. So, Essence operates under this contract with the city and state and a bunch of different entities, and that is set to expire in September. So, we knew these negotiations were going to come up, that, in order for Essence to stay in New Orleans going forward, there was going to be some new contract that needed to be worked out. So we're kind of getting to that point right now. And what I reported this past week was that the steering committee, which includes folks like former Congressman Cedric Richmond and former Mayor Mark Morial, what they sent in this letter this week, or sent in a letter last week, was essentially saying to Essence, we value this partnership, but we thought this year's festival was a major improvement on last year, but we did this review and we still have some concerns, and we want you to share with us some information. They gave them a deadline of Thursday, and then they also said, they said that they're prepared to recommend to the mayor that she open up a competitive solicitation for festival organizers. So it doesn't really go into too much detail in the letter about what that process would look like, but my understanding is that it would be, if they did go forward with this, is that they would essentially request qualifications and proposals from festival organizers interested in putting on a summertime celebration of Black culture and music in New Orleans. So, which would be a big deal. The Essence
would be a big change.
Yeah.
Big change. So I'm going to put this question to both of you. Kim, as a forever Essence participant, attendee, goer, lover of the festival. Blake, as somebody who's been covering this, correct me if I'm wrong, but Essence has never competed to host this festival, have they?
Not that I'm aware of. My understanding is I remember when former Mayor Morial formed this partnership with Essence. I think it was in 1995. Blake, am I incorrect?
Yeah, that's
In
right.
1995. And I think one of the major drivers at that time for the mayor, the city, and all of the participants was New Orleans is traditionally very, very slow in the summer, particularly in July and August, just because it's so hot. So from a tourist standpoint, people aren't necessarily flying in, driving in. They don't want to be in the heat. It was a way to pull people into the city, get beds on heads in hotels, get people in the restaurants, but it was also a way to celebrate Essence, but New Orleans culture. I mean, obviously, Essence is not just about music in general, but it's also about our culture. We are the culture bearers in the country, in the world. And so I think the mayor, former Mayor Morial, came up with this phenomenal partnership with Essence going back to 95, and I've never known it to be kind of a competitive process. I think they've always had a contract in varying forms to move forward with the festival every year, except for after Katrina.
Yeah, and
what's your understanding?
Well, yeah, and that's my understanding as well. Is that I think the last time this contract was negotiated was in 2018, and it was they didn't put this out to bid. It wasn't sort of it was an understanding that we're going to keep this festival here. We just need to figure out what terms it's going to be here on. I should say I didn't say earlier that what's pushing the steering committee. The mayor steering committee towards suggesting this competitive process is really the proposal that Essence sent to the city as far as the investment they want to see going forward. So Essence sent this proposal actually after it was late last year after the mayor, then mayor-elect, was in her transition. They called it the Essence 365 proposal, and basically they said because of rising operational costs and a desire to expand programming year-round and across the state, to do that and to meet that, they want their request is $10 to $12 million in incentives from the city, state, corporate partners, sort of a broader package. It's a little hard to put in perspective how that compares to what they're receiving right now because it's governed by a half dozen contracts. But as far as I know, the agreement with the local entities right now includes about $1.7 million in direct payments this year. So, the steering letter acknowledges that this is a pretty big, big jump in a financial ask, and given the city's financial constraints, the Congressman Carter was talking yesterday about, not only does the city have its own financial issues, but it has a strained relationship with the state, and the state would, Louisiana Economic Development, Lieutenant Governor's Office, these, the state entities would play a part in these incentives. So, they described that $10 to $12 million request, the mayor's steering committee, as unfeasible. So that's an important context for sort of why they are suggesting that perhaps they should go towards a competitive process here.
And I think to layer on to what Blake just said, it's kind of unfortunate the timing because 2025. There were a number of issues with what happened at Essence with a lot of the concerts, the late night concerts going into 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. So to add to what Blake said, the timing that they have to renegotiate this contract is probably a little unfortunate.
Yeah, it seems like they're coming in at a position of weakness in a way. I mean, the thing that's interesting is and I'll have more information on this hopefully soon. they talk about in this letter that they did a post 2026 review.
Post 2025.
No, after this year's
After
festival.
this year.
Yeah.
Okay,
They did a review, the steering committee, and they noted that there were significant improvements from last year. The letter also, again, doesn't go into detail, but does say that there were some concerning trends. And so I have a records request in with the city to get a copy of that report. So, I mean, it's hard to say what they're asking for, what the mayor's steering committee asked of Essence to submit yesterday was a vendor reconciliation report with the payment status for, showing as of submission whether the vendors and the contractors had been paid or where that's at. And then they also wanted a summary of this year's marketing spend and sponsorships. That was one component. The steering committee also asked them to put in writing that they would agree in future agreements to providing certain deliverables to the city. So they said that they want in a future contract for Essence to provide them with a business plan showing their talent budget, marketing plan. So there's a lot of information that the city is requesting. I'll say one other thing that was interesting about your interview yesterday with the congressman is, you asked him whether 10 to 12 million is. It's hard for us to, with the information we have, to say whether that's a big ask or if it's too much or just enough. And it seems from reading this letter is that the steering committee is also sort of seeking information on, the finances of this festival, getting into the nitty gritty on the numbers and whether that makes sense. So, they're asking for more information, and I think in the next couple of weeks we'll see the mayor's office likely announce the path that she wants to go forward on this. So.
Well, one thing I thought was interesting in your article, Blake, was apparently the steering committee is asking Essence to commit to what its lineup is going to be much earlier than it normally commits. And I think that issue also impacts the marketing, the branding, and attendance, because some of the, for lack of a better word, some of the complaints I've heard from friends who live in different parts of the country, I don't even know who the lineup is on any particular night before I'm making a decision as to whether to buy a plane ticket and travel there. So that's an issue.
Yeah, I remember this year, again, this year was, the steering committee said it was a major improvement. If I recall, there were some kind of last minute scheduling changes, which kind of threw off, people maybe have been planning to see a certain artist. So yeah, the letter from the steering committee asks Essence in any future contract to agree to announce on February 1st to a minimally agreed upon committed lineup of top rated A-list musical artists. So, there's a whole list here of other, things that they would want, and, benchmarks on ticket sales and hotel blocks, and another thing is in here is that they, want to include in the contract that the city gets that same certified verification that vendors and artists have been paid by a certain date. So,
well, it's my understanding that one of the pressure points is the hoteliers in the French Quarter and downtown, who have seen a lot of business, but less business than they're used to in previous years. And if that's true, one of the things we can look at historically in recent years is the greater number of short-term rentals in the city.
Yep.
And so hotel nights might not be the best indicator of who's here. And of course, there are those of us who get a call from a friend. What you doing 4th of July weekend? Oh, I'm going to be home. What you doing? I was thinking about coming.
How's that extra guest room,
Yeah, right.
Leo? How's that extra guest room?
Yeah, right. Yeah. So those numbers wouldn't be counted. But if you're owner, operator, manager of a hotel, and you too have slow business and you've been counting, I'd like to know the historical context of the hotel nights across Essence Festival, not just 25 and 26, but what has that been like? We don't need to go to the beginning,
Right.
because that was a whole different thing. That was a whole different thing. But if we looked at that over 3, 5, 7 years, even, I think that would give us another indication of what is reasonable in terms of not just attendance, but people spending their hotel money. And then maybe there's a way we can get short-term rental info. I don't know about that. But I think that would provide some context about the larger issue, rather than this hotel person or that hotel person complain that they didn't get enough traffic.
Yes, the backdrop to all of this, certainly over the last 2 years, is the economic situation in the country in general.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, many people are pulling back on recreational travel, so to speak. They go when they have to go for business, they go for their kids' activities and stuff, but many people over the last 2 years are starting to pull back on just pure leisure recreational travel. So I'm sure that's having an impact also.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I mean, it's hard. I'm coming at reporting on this from a government political angle. So, and one of the things I'm curious about is sort of how much of this festival is sort of the Essence brand itself. Yeah. And, it's as I don't have a long experience with the festival, but I imagine it would be hard for a lot of people to imagine it being something else.
Yeah.
So I'll say this, and the one thing that's interesting in the letter that they sent is that, the steering committee encouraged Essence, if they do move forward with this competitive process, encouraged Essence to participate in it. And they said, a competitive process, this quoting it, may very well be the best and fairest way to demonstrate Essence's standing as the premier brand capable of delivering a world-class celebration of Black culture, music, entrepreneurship, entertainment, and community in New Orleans for years to come. So, it may the city is clearly seeking a relationship with Essence that gives them more visibility into how this festival operates, and it may be that they're just using this process to make sure that they get that in the next contract. So
it may be that Essence is going to have to make a choice, providing all of the information requested to satisfy any concerns, or go through a competitive process. And they could be the only one applying, but because it's an RFP, the RFP says you must, these are the requirements.
Right, certain targets.
And so they might not know what those requirements be in an RFP, but they know what the requests are now.
That's a good point. Yeah,
that's a great point.
So I'm not sure which they would choose. I'm not sure which I would choose, but obviously with a competitive process, you stand the risk of somebody actually coming in and having a really good idea for a weekend that gets people excited, and maybe even different people excited. And I'm sure we would miss the idea of having Essence Fest go away.
Oh, no. I don't think anyone wants that. I think Blake's article was very clear. I think you quoted Walt Leger, CEO of New Orleans and Company.
Yep.
And, Walt said point blank, New Orleans, in essence, this is a partnership that has been in existence. And this city that exudes culture, that exudes Black culture, Black music, Black food. This has been a great partnership, but I think that the administration and the elected officials are just trying to make sure that it continues and that it operates in a profitable way, not just for Essence, but for our city and our citizens. And what is our investment going to be at the end of the day to make it worthwhile?
Yes, something to emphasize is everybody involved in this situation agrees that Essence is that they want. No one wants Essence to go away. That's not no one's. It doesn't seem that anyone's sort of angling to get Essence to leave, but it's making sure that it is the right sort of terms of that relationship, that it benefits everybody. So yeah, I think that's
Yep. So what's happening next, Blake? Based on what you know, because I think you know more than a number of other people, and you decide what to put in your story. But and then I'm sure there are things you can't talk about because that's how you build trust with sources and all. But based on what you know that you can share, what's likely to happen in the coming days and weeks?
Yeah, well, so they gave them this deadline of Thursday to respond. So, as I was saying, I'm gonna try and get my hands on whatever the response was. The letter says that the mayor's office wants to make an announcement as soon as practical. So, they're not, I think there's an urgency on the part of the steering committee and the mayor's office to figure out what's next. Like I said, I'm working on getting my hands on kind of the post festival review to sort of get more information on what the steering committee is thinking or what the information that they're working from is, so I can share that with the public as well as these negotiations heat up. And then we'll see if they do put out if they do seek proposals, that will be a public process, and we'll see how that plays out. But it looks like this is gonna get worked out probably in the next couple weeks or so. I mean, I imagine. That's maybe not. Maybe next couple months. I mean, their contract expires in September, right? September 4th.
September 4th.
Yeah, and it really just expires 60 days after the last festival. So,
okay.
But when they're clearly the city wants to start. Essence in a statement, said we're already planning for 2027. And the steering committee in this letter indicated that they want to be in on those conversations right now, because one of their requests is that they provide that business plan by the Labor Day in the prior year before the festival. So, under a future contract, they could be asked to provide a business plan, next week for, if it was for next year's festival. So that's sort of the state of play, but
Blake, what was the attendance this past year? I don't remember the numbers. Do you know generally?
I don't have the numbers in front of me.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
Yeah. Again, it seems like it was much more successful than last year as far as some of these hiccups that attendees reported.
Well, I mean, starting the first night with having the First Lady
right.
as a primary speaker, I think helped tremendously with branding, marketing, and hopefully attendance also. I was there, and it looked like great attendance that first night, but I'm not good with kind of counting in the Superdome.
Right. There are some interesting. It's something else I need to sort of get wrap my head around is all these contracts. Because they have contracts with the Superdome Commission, with LSED. There's just LED. There's just a whole bunch of contracts that govern this relationship, and they all have different deliverables. And I'm sure that information is being provided, but something to kind of we're kind of operating from. It's hard to say what the incentives look like right now. So that's another sort of project I need to sort of get started on.
Yeah. Well, according to reports, and there are always different numbers from different people, but there were more than 100,000 folks at the first one, and these days there's about 175,000 each day.
Okay, great.
So, the Essence people like to use a number of 500,000 over the weekend. But obviously, those are not the same numbers each year, but just to provide some kind of base from which to consider that. So one of the things, before you go, one of the things has been how much local involvement has there been as a part of the Essence Festival, and concerns about some of those vendors not being included and some of the vendors being included not being paid, including the convention center. Any updates about payment, or have they not been sharing that and talking about that?
Well, that's kind of, I mean, that's, again, it's a thing. It's hard to say, but the letter that some of the information they asked for, like I mentioned, the steering committee appointed by the mayor wants a vendor reconciliation report with payment status. So clearly, it's on the steering committee's mind to want to get confirmation that vendors and contractors are getting paid. This is really what started me on reporting this. Is
Right.
there was chatter earlier this year after the convention center didn't, they hadn't paid the convention center for the previous year's festival, and that there were some contractors that were still waiting payments. So they've said they worked that out for last year's festival, but I think that seems to be an open question right now and on the minds of the steering committee. So,
Well, the letter that was sent was by the city attorney, Charlene Gibson, on behalf of the steering committee, but there are other people on the steering committee and people that some people might recognize.
Yeah, I mean, the steering committee, is a phenomenal committee. If you look at the fact that city attorney Charlene Gibson, who's an amazing attorney, I used to work with her at my law firm, and she is brilliant. Kevin Ferguson, who was formerly with New Orleans and Company, as you know, who's the VP. He's the best in the business. Renee Laparoli. Renee has done everything from an external affairs standpoint, sewage and water board. She's been a consultant. Everyone in the city knows Renee. Walt Leger, we already talked about Walt. He is the CEO of New Orleans and Company, and obviously Essence, the festival, tourism over the summer impacts New Orleans and Company. So he has a very vested interest. Mark Hydell Morial, our former mayor, he was the one who really came up with this partnership during his tenure. I was honored to serve on the first committee under Jackie Harris, who was in Mark's administration. So bringing former Mayor Morial to the table, to me, was brilliant. Cedric Richmond, same thing. Our former congressman, formerly worked in the White House, national, state, local contacts and relationships, and understands everything. And Doug Thornton, CEO, SMG, he is kind of the benchmark for what it takes to put on these major events in a city like New Orleans. I think Doug just announced a couple of months ago that he's retiring, which is a huge loss to the community, the state, and the city. But no one knows how to do it better than Doug Thornton. So the mayor's put together what I call a blue ribbon committee. Everybody on the committee is phenomenal.
Yeah, and the committee, she created that committee to make sure 2026 was a success from the city's standpoint. And this letter kind of gives a little more information about sort of their goals, and it says, they want to make sure that there's proactive stewardship with regular meetings and status updates with the city, and transparent accountability consistent with state and local partner obligations. So, they're really looking for, it seems, going forward, a relationship between the city and state and Essence that is collaborative and transparent and sharing information. So, she's got a great, a great group of people sort of working on this for her right now. So
absolutely.
Yeah. And each of those people in different ways involved with major events and activities. So in different ways, but they're not small fish.
Right.
Not in any pond. They're not small fish in any pond, Will.
No, absolutely not. I know that this is but one story that you have been covering. What else have you been working on that our WBOK family of listeners might want to know about?
Well, I've been doing a lot of reporting lately on the sheriff's office and Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office, our new sheriff, Michelle Woodfork, and the jail. So that's a new sort of area of coverage for me. So learning a lot more about this 13-year-old federal consent decree that the jail has been under, and sort of the sort of shocking conditions in there, of course, that I guess aren't a surprise, but they still feel like a surprise every time you hear about them. So the sheriff has a big task ahead of her, and she set a goal of getting out from under the consent decree in her first year, thanks to a question you asked her. Thank you for that. So I'll be following that, and then I'll be working tomorrow too. The RTA is going to be selecting a new. They're in the process of selecting a new CEO, so they are down to 5 candidates, and they will be doing RTA board will be doing interviews virtually tomorrow with those 5 candidates. They'll narrow it down to 3, and then they'll make their pick for and that's obviously an important job and a well compensated job too. So so I'll be following that as well.
Will you be able to see the interviews?
No, the interviews will be taking place in executive session, and then I will, Though there is it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I think the public will obviously want to hear from these folks, and I think there's going to be there's going to be a public comment tomorrow, so we'll see how that plays out.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Blake Patterson, reporter for the Times-Picayune, NOLA.com. Thanks for the update about the other things that you're working on. But we spent a good amount of time talking about Essence Festival and where things stand. Nobody wants to see it go away, but this is business. And so both sides, so to speak, are working hard at this. And let's not forget that it seems like both sides, but it's really all sides because everybody has a responsibility and something to say about the future of Essence Festival. Thanks again. If somebody wants to reach out to you, how can they do that?
My email is bpatterson, it's Patterson with 1 T, @theadvocate.com, and phone number 281-740-4436. I'm happy to put it out there. If people have stories, they have tips about RTA, the jail, Essence, whatever, anything New Orleans government and politics.
Well, if that's the case, put it out there again.
Yeah, 281-740-4436. That's a Houston number. I'm a Houston boy. So.
Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. Well, very good.
We'll forgive you on that, Blake. We'll forgive you.
As I like to say, well, thanks for choosing us.
Yes,
being here.
Of course.
Okay. All right, folks, it's 7:59 a.m. We're going to go to a break. Good conversation with Blake Patterson. After the break, I want to talk about NDAs. It's been a lot in the news. Seems like every other day there are some developments. And so I want to talk a bit about that. And I've asked Kim to weigh in. I don't want Kim to talk about these particular elected officials and politicians, but because of her experience, she's had a lot to deal with NDAs, and her firm has dealt with NDAs. And other people who have signed NDAs and people who have drafted NDAs. I want to have some of that context because that's not my world. It's part of her world. All right, we're going to break. What is that talk line number?
That talk line number, Will, is 504-582-9422. Please call in.
This is WBOK 1230 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about all day long.
What can a nation with the blues learn from a blues people? Black America has a lot to say, especially given the current condition of our country. Every weekday afternoon, One show creates a space for us to be heard. It's the Tavis Smiley Show, weekdays, 1 to 4 p.m. on WBOK. Real people, real talk, real issues, real solutions, politics, culture, community, the conversations that matter most to you, hosted by me, Tavis Smiley. So tune in to the Tavis Smiley Show, 1 to 4 p.m. weekdays right here on WBOK, what New Orleans is talking about.
Step back into time and experience the moments that shaped our world at the National World War II Museum. This world-renowned museum brings history to life, telling the stories of the American experience in the war that changed the world, why it was fought, how it was won, and what it means today. From immersive exhibits to powerful personal stories, this is more than a museum. Go to nationalww2museum.org and plan your visit today.
We are the rhythm of the streets.
The flavor in every dish.
The story in every song.
We are New Orleans Tourism and Cultural Foundation.
We help artists build the future of New Orleans.
Because when the culture thrives, our people thrive.
Every note, every brushstroke, every dish is a door opening new possibilities for those who carry our traditions forward. And when we open that door, the whole city moves forward. For New Orleans Tourism and Cultural Foundation, culture is our open door.
This is Andronika Morris, host of Put Housing First. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock, where we will discuss how housing affects every aspect of our lives and what's necessary, what's needed to guarantee housing for all. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock as we dig down deep onto the issues that affect all of us.
WBOK New Orleans, home of the Good Morning Show, 7 to 9 a.m. weekdays.
I'm Mike Island with BIN News Now. An ICE officer at the center of an extradition fight has been released from a Texas jail. Democratic officials in Minnesota lost an extradition battle with Republican officials in Texas over Officer Christian Castro, who was charged after shooting and wounding a Venezuelan immigrant in January. It's unknown at this time if Castro will have to eventually appear in court to answer those charges. Jury deliberations will continue today in the Lindsay Clancy triple murder trial in Massachusetts. Clancy admits to strangling her 3 young children in 2023, but pleaded not guilty in 3 counts of first-degree murder. General Mills has removed artificial colors from all of its cereals. According to the company, the move means that brands including Lucky Charms and Trix are now made and available without synthetic color additives. I'm Mike Island. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the free iHeartRadio app.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. Maybe you've been listening since 7:02, 7:10, 7:20, 7:34, or maybe you're just tuning in. It is 8:04 a.m. I am Will Sutton. I'm very, very blessed to have another day and to spend some of this time with you. And spending time with us is Phelps Dunbar attorney, Kim Boyle.
Good morning, Will, and I am thrilled to be here this morning on this beautiful Friday morning.
Yep. Well, great. Well, last night I participated in a delightful, informative event, and Valerie Jefferson, who some of everybody knows in one area or another, if you are in the labor movement or you have been associated with Women of Action of New Orleans or NAACP and the RTA. I mean, this is another person that's like, when do you sleep? So good morning, Valerie. You're on with Will Sutton and Kim Boyle. How are you?
Good morning, my people. How you doing, Miss Kim? How you doing,
Good morning,
Mr.
and
Will?
thank you for all your great work in the community. We love you and we admire you.
Oh, thank you. Look, y'all are wind underneath my wings. I cannot do it without you all. Y'all has paid the way for us, and I'm just going behind y'all path. Thank you.
We appreciate that, but you're also talking about our age, Miss Jefferson. So, you know.
Oh, yes, we live, too. Oh, I am so sorry.
No, I'm teasing you.
Yep. Well, among these various things that you are a part of, you hosted the Coalition Organization and Politicians community event last night, looking at voter education and what's going on in District A. And thank you for doing that, and thank you for inviting me to be a part of it. I thought it would be good because it's still early yet for a number of people to pay attention to the fall election. We know that people may not be paying attention until November 1, and the election is on November 3rd. We hope they'll pay more attention before early voting starts on October 23rd. But that's why I'm talking about it already. And I was so delighted that you were doing something like this to beat the drums and get people's attention. So tell us about last night and how that went.
Last night was awesome. Of course, we wouldn't live. Of course, we got a lot of likes. And thank God I was able to share it over the whole state of Louisiana, like 13 groups. Thank God for that. And connected with the national NAACP and with the labor movement. Thank you for that. And we really appreciate how you broke down the amendments and you did extra work and you did your research when you went and talked to different politicians, congressmen, representatives. Thank you for that. You went above and beyond because we do not have the money to pay you. Thank you, Lord. So, but nevertheless, the panel. First of all, I want to give kudos to our district city councilman Amy. She supported us full-hearted. She sent her community director out there, and she gave us a great update on District A. Thank you for that. And also, I want to thank the other organization and Neutral Ground Coffee Shop for hosting us. Now let's get to the meat and the gravy part of the panelists. We have the voter registration director, Lisa Manning, who also came with some great information. Then we have the Lower Ninth Ward President, Sharon Bernard. She gave us the bone, but you came with the meat, the bone, and the gravy. How she explained it. Let me tell everybody how you explained it because you shocked all of us. Mr. Will, he came with all 10 constitutional amendments. He told us to get an index card. Everybody have an index card. I said, now how do you know we're going to have all the index cards? Well, he knows because he pay attention to everything. And he broke down each amendment. And he told us the yes and the no. Some of us in the audience, like me, when he read the amendment the first time, he had to do a repeat because we was like, what? Say it again? I can't understand it, couldn't comprehend it because how it is written. And it will be very confusing to someone who just read it. Like when you go in the election box to vote, and we just found out you only have 6 minutes. Legally, you only have 6 minutes. So we just found that out by Miss Lisa last night. So, but nevertheless, he explained it to us, and we have to be knowledgeable. We have to do our research. We have to talk about it because the wording is trickery. It's confusing. And if you want to know more about it, you need to listen to. You go to my Facebook page, Valerie Jefferson. If you go to any New Orleans Facebook group page, and you should see it because I see it all over Louisiana. How you explain it to us, Mr. Will, I cannot appreciate you enough. I thank you because how you did it was you explained to us like we were first graders speaking in Spanish, living in America.
No.
Yes, you did. Yeah, I got to give it to you. I got to give it to you. And you did it. How you did it was you didn't treat no one. You didn't belittle nobody. I'm gonna put it that way. With my mama voice.
You would never do that.
And I thank you for that. But you all, it's very important. We have to get more understanding about the 10 Constitution Amendment. We would vote the wrong way, or we would get frustrated, and we won't vote at all, and you hurt yourself. So everybody need to get some information about that. We need to put on more educational forms to educate people. Thank you. I know I talk too much.
No, not at all. Valerie, if I can ask this question, because first of all, thank you for the amazing work you do in our community. But everybody right now is worried about voter registration and bluntly getting out the vote in all communities. What can we all do to work with you to help get out the vote for these critical elections coming up this fall?
Ooh, thank you. I see why you, Mr. Will sidekick this. I see why. Now you wise. You wise. First of all, okay, we are a coalition. We're just a bunch of people joining together and want our community to be aware of, to be knowledgeable and understand about election, about it voting.
Yes, ma'am.
We start from the high school, the Lower Ninth Ward Voter Coalition. Sharon, she have a heart for the high school and the college students. So we go into the school. Matter of fact, she just had a training Wednesday about us going to the high school and getting them registered to vote. Then you meet them where they are. So it's a bunch of people in the organization. We join together and we meet on Zoom. We try to make it convenient for everybody. That's all you have to do is contact me, contact Mr. Will. I see him every Sunday. Yes, that's a church man. Yes, I see him every Sunday. And y'all,
I love it.
He's married. So I'm telling you right now, he's married.
Listen to you.
Well, Miss Valerie, I know his beautiful, amazing wife. So yes, he is very married.
yes, I love his wife. But nevertheless, we just get together on Zoom and we do a series. It started last year when we had the Super Bowl here. It was a lot of us didn't want to repeat how we got our governor in office. We was all going to the game. We were doing our own part or whatever, and we thought it was going to be a runoff. But some of us wasn't thinking. For it to be a runoff, you got to vote for Wilson for he could get in the runoff. So everybody was doing our own thing. So we have what we have right now. So I just prayed about it and asked God to, what shall we do as an organization? Because I'm a member of the NAACP. I'm a partner with the Power Coalition, with Step Up, with the Women Caucus, and East New Orleans Matters. So Lord Ninth Ward. So all of us in the same group, but we're doing the same thing, but we're different. So we just decided to join together. We decided to join together, and we launch out the same week of the Super Bowl. A lot of people said, no, Valerie, nobody never going to come. I said, they're going to come because we're going to go where they are. We go to their neighborhood. We are so glad our representatives and our senators is coming out and having a forum, but sometimes that's why we mixed it up. Sometimes people want to hear from their own people. Sometimes people want to connect with someone that they hear every day, like Mr. Will, like Miss Kim. They hear you every day. They want to see you. They want your advice. They want to know what you know. And that's what we did. All of us just got together, got our organization, and we reached out to our politicians. We want to know, are they true to their word? Because you say you for the community, you say you for the people. But guess what? When we call you up, I'm going to hold you to your word. You need to come out here and talk to the people.
Hey, Valerie.
So,
again, thank you so much for allowing me to participate. I really appreciate that opportunity. Voting is so important. It's a really big thing for me. I never, hardly ever a day goes by where I don't talk about voter registration or voting or something connected to that to somebody in one venue or another. I know you had this on Facebook Live.
Yes.
Where can people find it? Is that on one of the organization's page, or which page is it? Where can they find it? Is it only on Facebook?
Yeah, it's oh, I'm so sorry. It's only on Facebook. No, it's not on not on Facebook. It's on. I put on a business social media too. On LinkedIn. It's on LinkedIn.
Oh.
It's on Instagram. It's on Instagram. Yes, Mr. Will. I reach out to the business people too, because they got to realize that they need their employees and they need to consistent the community to keep their business going. Oh, okay, I'm going sidetracked. But it's on Instagram, LinkedIn, and it's on Facebook. Most of it is on Facebook. It started out with my name. It's under Valerie Jefferson, or you can go to Robin Cooley. I might connect you to it too. I mean, it's gonna be on your Facebook in a few minutes too.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Very good. Very
Yeah.
good. Well, I
I'ma
just
tag
wanted
you
to
in. I'ma
make
tag you
sure that people know that if they didn't know about it and didn't make it, or they knew about it and they weren't able to attend, that you made sure that a number of people could watch the live stream, and the recording is available. So
Yes.
absolutely, you get that information to me and write that up, and we will share it with our WPAOK family.
Okay, and to answer Kim's question, I'm sorry, Mr. Will, to get connected and get involved with voting with us, not just me, it's with us, with Miss Will and all of us. Please follow our Facebook page. Please follow WBOK. Please follow Miss Kim. You know, you follow us because we put our information out there for everybody can stay abreast, everybody can stay connected, and please go vote. Please go vote.
Please go vote. Please go vote, and please keep up with the great work you're doing, Miss Valerie. We need you. Community needs you, and all of us have an obligation based upon the sacrifices of our ancestors. All of us
Yes.
have an obligation to vote. So
Yes,
thank you for what you do.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
All right. So once again, before you go, how can people reach out to you and the folks who are part of COP?
Okay. You can reach out to any one of the organizations. You can reach out to East New Orleans Matters. You can reach out to the Lower Ninth Ward Voter Coalition. You can reach out to the Women of Action, ATU Women Caucus NOLA. You can reach out to the NAACP New Orleans branch. You can reach out to Power Coalition. These are the confirmed coalition groups that we meet like every other week, and we come up with a strategy plan, see how we can go out and to the community. First of all, Mr. Will, we start with our own family. In our own household, we should have people to vote. Then we go out to our neighbors like that. But nevertheless, that's how you can reach out to us on our social media page, on our website. Each one of us have a website. Or you can Google. You can Google us and find out. We thank you all. We appreciate you. And I want to let y'all know y'all are my highway buddies. I listen to y'all. I go back to y'all past videos and listen to you when I go to Mississippi. Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, I will look forward to seeing you on Sunday at church, as long as the
Yes.
Lord's willing to get me up yet another day. And Lord's blessings, Valerie, and we look forward to hearing that you had a great day and a fabulous weekend. All right?
Thank you,
Miss
Kim.
Valerie.
Thank you, Mr. Will.
All right, thank you. Oh, boy. She's fired up.
She is fired up, and we all need to be fired up
Yeah.
because these elections are critical. And thanks to people like Ms. Valerie, NAACP, Power Coalition, all of the organizations that work to ensure that we get out the vote.
Yep. And yes, I talked about the 10 constitutional amendments last night, and I will be talking about that on WBOK and talking about the election and as we get closer to it, because it's really important, and we will make sure that you have some of the information that you need to consider how to put together your ballot, because this ballot will be long.
Yes.
And if you walk in there without having done any preparation, our registrar reminded us last night, most people don't know this, but you have 6 minutes
That's right.
to get in and get out. 6 minutes. That usually is never a problem with other elections. It could be this year because there's so much on the ballot, no matter where you are. All right, we're going to take our break, and we will be back after the break and talking about the Greater St. Stephen's Ministries health fair that'll be coming up. So we're going to have Kamani Hamilton in place of the bishop talking with us this morning. Kim Boyle, what is the talk line number?
Talk line number 504-582-9422. Thank you, Will.
This is WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
Good Friday morning. I'm Daryl Forges with WDSU News, and here's your headlines. Today, the Stage Rex murder trial could be getting closer to a verdict. Sean Alfredish and Leon Parker accused in a connection to the death of federal witness Cornelius Garrison. The prosecution rested after calling Brandon Brown to the stand. He said Garrison was a vital piece of the federal investigation he was working on. A legal battle between the New Orleans Fire Department and the city is heading to trial. This after a meeting Thursday failed to reach an agreement. The issue is over a mandatory order by NOFD superintendent making firefighters do higher-level jobs without guaranteed extra pay. The trial is set for September 14th. And the city of New Orleans moves closer to reopening a historic park. The landmark, now shuttered for more than 60 years. Construction on Lincoln Beach will start in December. New Orleans Chief Sustainability Officer Megan Williams announced Thursday the first phase of construction will be road paving and creation of a parking lot. Another meeting is scheduled to update the community on progress at the beach in November. Williams says project leaders want to avoid potentially opening the beach and having to close it again for more construction, which is why it won't be open to the public until all 3 phases of construction are complete. I'm Daryl Forges, and that's your headlines for WBOK. Have a great day.
Norman Robinson is back.
Can you hear me now?
And he's taking no prisoners.
Can you hear me now?
Each weekday, Norman Robinson brings you commentary with Off the Top.
The incident was shocking, disturbing, disgusting, disappointing, and sad.
Each weekday, Off the Top with Norman Robinson is heard exclusively right here.
It's Off the Top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 1230 AM.
Climate Hope NOLA presents this month's climate keyword, adaptation. Climate adaptation means preparing our communities for stronger storms, hotter days, flooding, and rising water. That means planting trees, restoring wetlands, protecting homes, and helping families recover stronger after disasters. In New Orleans, resilience is part of who we are and how we survive. Learn more, stay informed, and take action with Climate Hope NOLA. Visit Team Hope NOLA on Instagram to learn more. Step back into time and experience the moments that shaped our world at the National World War II Museum. This world-renowned museum brings history to life, telling the stories of the American experience in the war that changed the world, why it was fought, how it was won, and what it means today. From immersive exhibits to powerful personal stories, this is more than a museum. Go to nationalww2museum.org and plan your visit today.
We are the rhythm of the streets.
The flavor in every dish.
The story in every song.
We are New Orleans Tourism and Cultural Foundation.
We help artists build the future of New Orleans.
Because when the culture thrives, our people thrive.
Every note, every brushstroke, every dish is a door opening new possibilities for those who carry our traditions forward. And when we open that door, the whole city moves forward. For New Orleans Tourism and Cultural Foundation, culture is our open door.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
Mostly sunny today, but we do have a chance to see a few spotty showers for the afternoon. Again, most of us will end up staying dry, nothing like what we saw for Thursday. Highs for today, 88 to 91, pretty close to average for this time of the year. A couple of spotty showers as we get to our Saturday as well. Highs also into the upper 80s, lower 90s. And then we are expecting better rain chances by Sunday. From the WDSU First Warning Weather Center, I'm Raven Reshaw.
Good morning. Wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. I'm Will Sutton. It is 8:27 a.m. If you got somewhere to be at 8:30, you got 3 minutes, so I hope you're real close, perhaps in walking in the door or walking to your cubicle, or if you got it like that, you walk into your office and turn on the lights and getting situated. And if you are at the work site in your car, you might want to get out. Going over, get out of that air conditioning and let the boss know you are checking in so they know you are there and they need to keep you working. So watch out for our babies and kiddos. We want to make sure that they are safe getting to school so that they can take care of their necessary business and become the fine citizens that you are. Again, I'm Will Sutton. I'm here with Attorney Kim Boyle. And as promised before, we're jumping into a conversation about Greater St. Stephen hosting a health fair focused on flu. And we have none other than the Bishop, Bishop T. Delbert Robinson, Senior Pastor of Greater St. Stephen's. Good morning, Bishop. You're on Will Sutton and Kim Boyle. How are you?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Will. Man, all is well. All is well. How are you and Attorney Kim this morning?
I am blessed that the Lord gave me another day, man. I mean, every day. These days, you know, I'm 71. I'm not taking any of this for granted. And my daddy's 95 and a half.
That's right.
95 and a half. And it's a blessing to have him every day beyond 70. Because you know what the Bible says about age.
Yes, sir. 70. But you know what? In days like these, I hear you saying you're 71, but sometimes it's a blessing to be 21.
Yes.
That's right.
It's a blessing to be 31.
Absolutely.
That's right, sir.
I mean, every day is a day of Thanksgiving, and just grateful to God to be alive. I'm always mindful that 6 feet above the ground is always better than 6 feet below the ground.
Amen.
Amen to that, sir.
Yeah.
Indeed. Well, Bishop, it's such a pleasure to have you on. You had a awesome and challenging opportunity to succeed who you succeeded.
Oh, yeah. Man,
and take that on.
Yeah, every day is a blessing. Even in that's been one of the greater feats of my entire life, succeeding my mother-in-law and my father-in-law, the renowned one and only Honorable Dr. Deborah B. Morton and Bishop Paul S. Morton. Big shout out to both of them. They are certainly trailblazers in this city, spiritual mother and father, and that's a big one. That's a lifelong accomplishment on my resume. Yes, sir.
Oh, boy. So we're going to talk about the event coming up, but since we have you, I want to give WBOK family of listeners to a chance to get you know you a little bit better and get to know your church a little bit better. How long was Bishop Morton senior pastor at the church, and when did you know that this was even a possibility?
So let me get the timeline correct. So firstly, Bishop Morton was senior pastor for 33 years, and then he was succeeded by his wife, my mother-in-law, for 13 years after him. So it's a total of 46 years.
Yep.
And when did I know? It's one of them things you don't know until you know when you're moving with the man of God. But I had about a good 6-month window because I'm from Southern California. So I had 2 churches there. I'm married to their eldest daughter, who is our co-pastor as well, co-pastor Jasmine. Big shout out to her as well. And so we had about 6 months to really wrap things up at those 2 churches, make a move across the country. And so it was an intense but well-rewarding move of God.
So, Bishop, tell us, was the conversation between bites at dinner, it's time for you to step up? Is that how it happened?
No, it wasn't bites at dinner. It was, I'll leave it. I'll put it like this. It wasn't even a time for you to step up. It was a phone call that said, step in.
Bishop, would it be fair to say you kind of got a directive?
Yeah, well, yeah, dealing with Bishop Morton, I call him Dad. Directives take on a little bit different definition from the average person.
Understood.
That's why the Bible says the steps of a good man are ordered by God. So, it's better to be called, you would think it's better to say step up than to step down. But what do you do when it's neither up nor down? It's just step in, and in a number of days, I'll be stepping back. So it's like, whoa, those steps had some interesting directions. And as a result, here we are now.
All right. So Greater St. Stephen's has had a phenomenal history and very connected to the community. I'd like you to talk a little bit about that so that people get to know. I mean, there are so many people who know your church.
Sure.
And you have an incredible congregation, and they're everywhere.
Sure.
But for those who may not be familiar, tell us a little bit about its history and your congregation, your church.
Well, first of all, great question, Will. Great question. Preceding me, Greater St. Stephen has been spiritual home to scores of thousands of people who are literally now worldwide.
Yes.
And my brother-in-law, PJ, wrote a song that said he was talking about New Orleans girls, but literally as it relates to Katrina put Greater all over the world. We're now finding out. There are not very many places you can go in this country that you don't run into a member of Greater St. Stephen. And as it relates to currently, our congregation is thriving. We're multi-generational. God is doing a phenomenal work in our midst, even post-COVID. And we continue to do all we can to be in the community with intentionality. In fact, one of the first things that I've done since I've been here is I put a name to our community ministry. It's called PACE, P-A-C-E. And it's an acronym for Political Advancement and Community Empowerment. And what happened was when I came from the West Coast and I assessed all that Pastor D had done, I'm like, oh, my God, I can't continue this. It's going to be hard to keep up the pace. And so I looked around and began to galvanize a group that she was spearheading, or that she does actually spearhead, of individuals who are community-minded, go-getters. They're really kingdom motivators. They are marketplace type of individuals, and they head up that ministry. They keep us busy in the community with political advancement in these times, as well as community empowerment, because our community in the city of New Orleans, if there's anything that we need both literal empowerment but greater is here to bring the spiritual act to let it be known that this is the power of the Lord at work in the community amongst the people of God. Those who are outside of the four walls of the church, we're bringing the church to you. And we're doing it the same way it's always been done in the legacy and the heritage of Greater St. Stephen.
Okay, now you've got a big event coming up this weekend. And,
Sure.
I mean, this is one of the things that, a number of churches and organizations do. But most of the time we talk to somebody who's on the committee and stuff. Why did you feel this was so important that you, the senior pastor, the bishop, wanted to talk about this?
Well, I do know the power of voice. And as pastors as a whole, we are men and women who are in authority, but I also value being under authority. I love to put people in leadership positions, let them lead, and then I use my voice. I use my influence to create an indelible, unstoppable momentum that pushes that ministry into another place. And so in this particular instance, as it relates to community health, in a day where healthcare is unaffordable.
Yes.
And it was promised to us by this administration that was one of the campaign promises, and that promise has been broken literally to smithereens. So we, the church, under the power of the Holy Spirit, we've stepped up and made partnerships to bring items that are unaffordable to literally knock the cost off. And if I have people in my church that are leading with that type of veracity, the least I can do is not just be present, but do things like this. Get on the line with Brother Will and Attorney Kim and put my voice in the community to let it be known. Greater St. Stephen is doing the work of ministry, not just in the four walls of the church, but in the community to the degree where you can literally feel the effects on your body.
So this is happening on Sunday at noon?
Sunday at noon. So we'll come in for 10:30 a.m. That is a shameless plug. You can join us any and every Sunday at 10:30 a.m., 5600 Reed Boulevard. But this particular Sunday, it's going to be a tremendous blessing. Come on in and receive your spiritual vaccine against what's going on in our world. And then at 12 noon, you could go right into Morden Hall and receive your flu vaccine so that you can protect you, your loved ones, and everyone around us from this season of influenza. We don't want anyone to get caught off guard, so we're going to make it happen on this Sunday.
And I understand the focus is flu, but there also will be available shingles, RSV, COVID-19, pneumonia. So a number of opportunities to consider how to take care of yourself.
Absolutely. See, and if you think about it, Will and Attorney Kim and anyone else in the room, and to all of the listeners, the medical report is so conflicting that is going out again from this administration. You really, I hate to put it in a cliche, but you don't know which way is up. And I know so many people said, oh, I made it through COVID-19, no vaccine, look at me, I didn't die, and so on and so forth. But we don't want to leave it to chance. We know the power of vaccines. We know the power. I believe in the supernatural power of God, but I also believe that God has raised up scientists. I believe in the power of medicine as well. And we stand on the word of God. Every good and perfect gift comes from above. So God put all of these things here. It has been here since black people began to do medicine. Dr. Imhotep in Egypt and on.
That's right.
So
You're going all the way back, Bishop.
It did not just start with the United States. And I believe that this could be a covert, undercutting strategy to get people sick. So we have to do everything in our power, according to our will, to get ahead of the system. And our church, Greater St. Stephen, we are leading the way in helping in that area.
And Bishop, I assume this falls kind of under your PACE initiative. You're talking about community empowerment, and you're talking about protecting our community from a health standpoint, correct?
Correct. Yes, absolutely. You hit it right on the head. So back when I was describing my emergence into this area, that PACE ministry, again, it's twofold assignment in one, PACE, political advancement, community empowerment. And on the community empowerment side, we are so tremendously blessed. When I tell you we are super blessed, because when you're talking about protecting the community, you're talking about single mothers, you're talking about widows, you're talking about orphans, children. In fact, as Will was coming on, he was literally saying, hey, watch out for our babies as we're driving around. And all of those things are protective measures. But in this, I'm also concerned about the health of our community. We pastor, my wife and I, co-pastor Jasmine, we lead a large community of believers, and we gather corporately every Sunday. We don't want our seniors and our children who have, who can be immunocompromised. We don't want people in our congregation getting one another sick. In fact, the Bible is clear. We perish for a lack of knowledge. And when you don't know how to be empowered, the easiest thing to do is to look down on a loved one and say, oh, I didn't know. And we are using our connections, our resources, our influence, and our likeness to do the work of empowerment. I'm an empowerment preacher. Empowerment simply means when the battle is raging, we believe that God gives you everything you need to get strong in the midst of battle.
All right. Sounds like people need to show up at 10:30 Sunday to get some more.
Yes, sir.
All
yes,
right.
Sir. Y'all
So
got
look.
me stirred up this morning.
All right.
That's right, Bishop.
We've got a call. We've got Reverend Calhoun on the line. Reverend Calhoun, good morning. You're on with Will Sutton, Kim Boyle, and Bishop Robinson.
Good morning to all.
Good morning.
We just wanted to commend the bishop on the activity that they're doing within the neighborhood. Our health is so important. And a lot of what's happening now, our young folks are not understanding the importance of health. You know, when you're young in them 20s and 30s, you don't, get a little ache, little pain, you ignore it and keep going. But having the community to start, the churches, I should say, start to unify and understanding that what health is needed in our neighborhood. There's so much sickness that's going on now. We got a lot of elderly people that are sick and really cannot get any kind of treatment. So we do thank you for that. We do have a lyceum going on over at Peaches Records this morning, starting at 11. But again, I just wanted to commend the bishop on the work that they're doing and how they're moving forward within the neighborhood.
Well, I think it's great that both of you are doing
Reverend
this.
Calhoun. I heard that shameless plug. I saw you right there. God bless you. But in the same token, yes, and I want to just put a plug right there, Will and Attorney Kim. I just did a funeral. I did 2 funerals back to back for 2 young African-American men, both under the age of 25 years old.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
2 weeks in a row, 2 Saturdays.
So sorry.
And the point there is, I don't know it to be an immunity issue per se, but death really has no age. I came on saying that.
Yes.
And so while a vaccine may not prevent mortality or morbidity per se, it's like insurance. It's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. So our efforts,
but just having a place to go to
empower the community
to kind of find out what's going on with
one voice.
Yeah, we got to do it.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Go ahead, Reverend Calhoun.
Yeah, I was just saying to create those spaces to give our young folks an opportunity to come and see what's going on with their bodies, what's going on in their minds. I think it's imperative now that we start unifying our community.
Well, it's all about
Come
education,
January
too.
1, I think people are not realizing how bad our healthcare system will be come J1.
Yes.
Regardless of who's elected, there's already been put in place for us to have reduced health care. So we got to talk about how to unify our churches, how to unify our communities to try to get the better health, to get some type of health care for those that really need it. Just to identify what's wrong with you.
Right.
Well, we
Indeed.
need both
Indeed.
of y'all to continue to educate our community and to work with organizations like Ms. Valerie, because getting out the vote is also part of this education that impacts our community's health also.
Well, I'm definitely a proponent of getting that vote out. And again, that's another educational piece that we
Yes.
have to address.
Yes. Yes,
Indeed.
Reverend.
We have to stand united in voting. That's the only voice we really have in there.
And can I hop right in right there? Because not only is Greater St. Stephen empowering the community as it relates to this health fair coming up on Sunday at 12 noon, service at 10:30 a.m., we also are on high alert as it relates to this upcoming midterm election. This is the most consequential midterm election I believe that we are going to see in our lifetime.
Yes.
Because it's going to determine what happens in the next presidential election. And it is important. We're on high alert spiritually. We have a prayer campaign that we do every Wednesday morning, 6:30 a.m. We have over 600 callers calling in from across the country just to pray. Because we believe the Bible, if my people who are called by name will pray, humble themselves and pray and seek my face. And that vote, I'm telling you, if we don't vote in the right direction, this administration, this government is determined to tear down democracy as we know it and take us back to a time that we've been delivered from.
And that's one of the things that we are pushing hard, to make people aware of who's running and what they stand for. Because with Jamie Davis, we have to let the state of Louisiana know that we have a choice and we have another opportunity other than Letlow. So with that, I'm going to say good morning.
All right. Yeah. Get two pastors on and you never know. All right. Lord's blessings, Reverend Calhoun. Have a great day.
Thank you both.
All right,
God bless
Bishop.
you, Reverend Calhoun.
All right, Bishop. Thank you. I know it's such a big and busy church. You always have things to do beyond Sunday, and we appreciate you spending some time with us. Once again, your community flu fair is Sunday, August 30th at 12 noon, and service starts at 10:30. So you get your spiritual blessing at 10:30. And get your health blessing at 12 noon.
Thank you so much, Will. Thank you, Attorney Kim. Blessings on all of y'all. I look forward to the next time we get together, and thank God for you, and thank you for the opportunity.
All right. Lord's blessings, sir. Have a fabulous day.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right. We're going to go to break. It's WBOK 1230 a.m., what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
Off the top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 1230 AM.
Folks, what happened with our city's trash service is, well, trash. It's ridiculous and unacceptable. New Orleans finds itself burdened by a sanitation system that lost $21 million last year. And those of us who call the Crescent City home pay $24 a month, but that doesn't even come close to what City Hall is paying for trash pickup. And what's worse, we may have to pay more. So just how in the hell did we get here? Part of the answer can be found several years ago. Richards Disposal was collecting garbage in much of the city. The company had its problems, missed pickups and serious complaints following Hurricane Ida and during the COVID pandemic. To be fair, the city had every right to demand better. But in 2023, Richards made an interesting proposal, offering to extend their contract in a large portion of the city for 3 years, collecting garbage for only $18.75 per household. The company claimed that would save New Orleans more than $19 million. But the city declined. Instead, the Cantrell administration awarded that service area contract to IV Waste Management for 7 years. The administration argued that IV Waste offered better service, new equipment, recycling, GPS tracking, and greater accountability. The majority of the city council approved it. Councilman Oliver Thomas was the only vote against it. We've since learned now from the legislative auditor that the city spent more than $59 million last year in sanitation services, while collecting only about $38 million in sanitation revenue. The auditor discovered something else that's almost unbelievable. The city may have been paying for pickups at thousands of addresses that were vacant, duplicated, or otherwise ineligible. Mayor Helena Moreno didn't simply inherit the problem, though. She was a member of the city council when it approved the IV Waste contract. And remember, only one councilman, Oliver Thomas, voted no. But that doesn't mean anyone could have foreseen the predicament that followed. And Mayor Moreno certainly deserves credit for confronting the sanitation deficit. But the people who approve major public contracts have an obligation to ask before casting their votes. What are we buying? Is there a less expensive way to get the job done? So, before City Hall asks taxpayers to pay more for garbage collection, it owes us an accounting of just how we ended up paying so damn much in the first place. This is Norman Robinson off the top.
This is Monica Pierre along with Sally Ann Roberts Daybone, co-host of Your Power is On.
Tune in Sunday mornings from 7 to 8 a.m. for music that feeds the spirit. Get your Sunday on.
Right here on WBOK 1230 a.m. and WBOK1230.com, the station you listen to all day long.
This is The Law in Your Legacy. I'm attorney Pete Hamilton.
I'm attorney Ryan Hamilton.
When it comes to family planning, should you go with a will or a trust?
A will is like leaving instructions to the court. It tells them who gets what, but your family still has to go through a succession, which can be costly and time-consuming.
A trust, on the other hand, avoids court altogether. So when the time comes, everything transfers smoothly to your loved ones.
It's a little more work up front, but way less hassle and expense later. Plan smart, save time, and take care of your family.
This is not legal advice. That's just a tip brought to you by Liberty Bank and Trust. For more information, go to libertybank.net or contact us at 504-915-5016.
This summer, the place to be is downtown. From incredible restaurants and shopping to retail, wellness, and so much more. Enjoy special offers and discounts from participating downtown businesses all season long. Brought to you by the Downtown Development District. Whether it's after work, date night, or weekend fun, there's always something happening downtown. Plan your next outing at participating locations like Coppervine, Mother's, the Audubon Aquarium, and Riverwalk Outlets. Visit downtownnola.com. Summer starts here.
This is Andronika Morris, host of Put Housing First. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock, where we will discuss how housing affects every aspect of our lives and what's necessary, what's needed to guarantee housing for all. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock as we dig down deep onto the issues that affect all of us.
Taking action to improve your health is within your reach. Ochsner Health, Johnson & Johnson, and the Abundant Life Tabernacle Full Gospel Baptist Church are hosting a men's health event 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Saturday, September 5th. Attend this important prostate cancer awareness event at Abundant Life Church, 1701 Franklin Avenue. Learn more about prostate health at no cost Saturday, September 5th. Be proactive. Stay healthy.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. I'm Will Sutton. It's 8:55 a.m. I'm here with Kim Boyle, and good conversation with the bishop. I wish them good luck with that flu fair on Sunday, and sounds like a wonderful thing. You don't have to be a member of Greater St. Stephen's to get there at Sunday on 12 noon. So look, one of the things that has been an ongoing news story with the different big projects, the data centers and SpaceX, has been NDAs, non-disclosure agreements. And in one of the latest reports, my colleague Sam Carlin is reporting that at least 20 public officials across state and local government have signed NDAs connected with SpaceX and the state of Louisiana. They've used the code name Project Osprey, and these officials have been involved in conversations at various levels, and that includes Senate President Cameron Henry, Senator Kurt Talbot from River Ridge, and Representative Ryan Burrick from Abbeville, and others. But this continues to be in the news, and I thought it would be a good idea to hear from Kim, not about these specific NDAs in this specific situation, but about the concept of NDAs, why they are there. How does this work?
Well, basically, Will, and thank you for that question. I mean, non-disclosure agreements, the description or the name says it all. You're generally talking about people in business. It could be for a potential merger. It could be for a joint venture. It even arises in the employment context where there's sensitive and confidential business information at stake. And you want to maintain your competitive advantage. You want to maintain your strategies where you don't want that confidential business information out in the general public. So this is very, very, very commonplace in the business world. It's commonplace in the employment world. Many employers, depending upon the industry itself, if you're dealing with trade secrets, if you're dealing with very complex competitive strategies, many employers require their employees to sign confidentiality agreements or non-disclosure agreements. So this is commonplace.
Okay. All right. Well, I wrote something about Dolly Parton.
Yes.
And
yes.
We black folks. I'm not saying 100% black folks love Dolly Parton, but what I have experienced in the last few days is an amazing outpouring for Dolly Parton from all over. And I think a lot of white folks didn't understand how we black folks, a number of we black folks, feel about Dolly Parton.
Well, black folks love Dolly Parton because we like people who are good and do good. Dolly Parton seemed to be just a genuinely wonderful person, and her philanthropy is almost unparalleled. If you read the New York Times article, she gave away hundreds of millions of dollars, focused in large part on literacy. Mm-hmm. And we just had the bishop talk about vaccinations. What a lot of people don't know is Dolly Parton donated $1 million in Nashville to help start the research related to COVID-19. So she just seemed to be an amazing person, and she will be well missed. Well missed.
Absolutely. So you can check out my column at NOLA.com if you choose. Meanwhile, we got to get up and get out of here and make room for the front porch. So Kimba will be on her way. I'm sure after that, you'll hear from Tavis Smiley. And, of course, in the afternoon, you'll hear from the G-Man and Suzette Becknaris on the Reality Check. Lord willing, I'll have a great weekend and then show up again for you on Monday morning. I am not taking this for granted because it is up to him if I'm able to do that. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Will. I've really enjoyed it. I learned a lot this morning.
All right, wonderful. It is 9 a.m. It is front porch time, folks. This is WBOK, 12:30 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about all day long.